had a greater understanding of the oil and gas industry here in the UK in general, and to be made aware of the resources available to me and the people that I can go to if an issue arises, and really just to build a network of contacts here in the UK.
This is obviously a week-long tour is an opportunity for everybody overseas to learn, but that's only the first part of it. The second part of it is the amount of networking that goes on between the posts, the overseas posts, the local partners, the investment services team, and HQ, and of course our sector specialists. So everybody getting to know each other is absolutely invaluable. That's how good FDI happens, by people having relationships with one another and sharing information and working together collaboratively to win investment.
It's an opportunity to meet the sector heads here in London who have the overview of what it is that the government wants to do in a particular area, whether it's life sciences or agritech. It's an opportunity to meet some of the companies that we think are cutting edge and are really driving some interesting ideas here in the UK. It's an opportunity to see clusters where various companies are working together to drive lots of interesting ideas. And it's an opportunity really to use it as a way to bring alive a lot of the material and the marketing material that we have on paper, and to supplement that with a better understanding of what it means on the ground, but also to have the lines in to the various people across the whole of the UKTI network if you have questions that you know who to go to. So I would expect, and I know that people have found it useful, that people go back from an investment briefing tour with a clearer understanding of what it is that we do and why we do it, and with a much deeper understanding of how we can put forward the particular value proposition to companies.
If I think of our business as a value chain where, you know, the country, the companies in country have specific things they want to gain by investing overseas, and then the UK is quite clear about what its offer is to the overseas, and then within that you've got your different local partners who add particular parts to that offer and who can say there's a local opportunity here which you could invest in, there's a local opportunity there that you can invest in. So it gives a lot of detail and colour, which really helps if you're involved in a sales process, so you're involved in promoting the UK, which is ultimately what we're about. If you can actually talk about stories from local places, that really helps you to put the story across.
Yeah, FDI is important because what it does is, if we look at the initial development of the UK continental shelf, we had a lot of investment coming in from largely American companies. What that did was basically stimulate the base companies in Scotland here to develop and expand into the oil and gas companies. So we currently now have a level of expertise from these small companies, which is probably unrivaled in the rest of the world, especially in the subsea area. An inward investment helps bring that. So ideally we would like to see more of that, especially in some of the newer techniques in enhanced oil recovery, so that this can be passed on to the companies that we currently have and help develop further investment and expansions.
You can actually imagine some of your clients coming over here and seeing what it is like and feeling the region and actually identifying themselves with other regions outside London, for instance. Visiting the sites of some of the companies that we saw actually gave us an idea of how large and how well organized the oil and gas industry is, and how other companies from abroad could benefit from being here as part of their global operations.
I'm fairly well aware of the investment opportunity in the Northeast, but it's still critical for me to understand the little nuances that can actually make a difference when talking to potential investors. Because at the outset, most of them seem to think they need to be in Aberdeen, whereas most of them don't really. So there could be opportunities for them elsewhere which are more cost efficient.
the key highlight for me today was really talking to AMEC. It was one of those things where I've been, watching the presentations, been really interested in the whole thing, but you try to look at who are the companies that I'm currently talking to and how can I facilitate either an introduction here or take the information that I'm learning and feed it back to them so they get a better understanding of what's happening in the UK. So around this, and really that merge with big data analytics, you can see an oil and gas company that's spending £1 million a day on a vessel hire needs to have the kind of capability of forecasting weather, of understanding where their assets are, where their people are, do they need to be in a different project. And if you have a platform visualization of where everything is and where your projects are, you can save a lot of money. So this is actually an efficiency kind of play through technology.
One of the striking things I've just heard is that they're looking for companies now which won't be actually competing with what they've already got. They're looking for companies which will complement, and for niche areas where there's gaps. So we've heard about decommissioning being mentioned, which everyone would expect to hear within the oil and gas sector. There's massive opportunities there. And then also in R&D, innovation and subsea engineering, again, which I expect everyone in that industry would be expecting to hear.
I'd say the benefits of attending a tour like this are getting to interact with colleagues from around the globe and getting to hear that they're experiencing similar challenges, and also just bouncing ideas off of them about their best practice and the ways that they do their job. I also like that it's such a kind of condensed schedule, and so you get to learn a lot in a very short period of time.
I think all colleagues should come on IBTs on a regular basis. What's the benefit to them in doing that? Well, I think if you are promoting the UK overseas, you really need to know the UK. The UK is your product essentially, and it's what you're offering to your clients. And so by coming on the investment briefing tours, you get to know that product in real intimate detail. That's why they're done sectorally, so that you can understand the particular sector really, really well. And you get to understand the sector story and how to put that story across, and you get little stories within that you can tell about particular opportunities.